Okay, it's August 1st, 2024, and I'm with Mr. John J. Jeckovich, and we're reading his book, Their Mother's Sons, that he wrote about 25 years ago, and it's about his life from kindergarten to retirement.
Don't lose that book, Dave.
I won't lose that book, I promise you that. And it's from Etampes.
And don't loan it out. Don't loan it out because you'll never get it back. I loaned out 5 books and never get them back.
Well, I promise you I won't loan it out. It's in your possession anyways.
I got freshly copies up in the second floor in that house, up at the other house.
I'll get them for you. They're not going nowhere. I promise you the book will stay on your side and not with me. So the book takes from kindergarten to retirement and everything in between. The highlights are Mr. John J. Jeckovich gets enlisted in the Army. He gets shot up in the Battle of the Bulge. In training at Owensboro, Kentucky, he meets a very nice girlfriend called Anne Mahaney. And then he's training in Haverford West in Wales, and he meets a very nice girlfriend called Jean Young.
Yeah.
Jean Rowland Young, actually.
You never found her.
We haven't found her, but a key to that is this. The Daily Mail, circulation of 900,000, wrote a full-page story about Mr. Jeckovich and his search for Jean Young. And I've had a couple other investigators.
You've had that in there for about a year now.
No, not that long. I have a couple other investigators looking for the Young family in Haverford West. So if anyone has any leads, you email us or you call us at 407-366-0000.
They probably all came to America. They all probably came to America, changed their names.
Possibly, but you email us or call us about Jean Rowland Young. Her father was a mayor in Haverford West, Wales. 407-366-0000. We've got a hold of his first girlfriend, Anne Mahaney. We spoke to her, and Jean Young, as I said, the Daily Mail, London's largest newspaper, did a full-page story on Mr. Jeckovich in search of Jean Young, and we haven't found it yet, that his last girlfriend was when he was shot up in the Battle of the Bulge, machine gun to the shoulder, shrapnel in his leg. He met a beautiful lady, an artist, who was actually in becoming a nun in Paris. And this was a fine lady. Her name was Renee, and she was in the process, real close, of being a Roman Catholic nun. And then what took place while she was in a monastery, her father and her brother was killed by the damn Nazis, and that made her question her faith. She questioned her faith when this happened, and then directly after that, Renee joined the
Resistance.
What's that?
Resistance.
Renee joined the French Resistance, and Mr. Jeckovich, as being wounded at the hospital, he had some free time, and he met with Renee, and they became quite good friends. And he went to her house, and she was a very talented artist, and she had a lot of portraits of SS soldiers, tanks, Panzer tanks. About how many officers did you see in there from the SS?
German?
Yeah, of the portraits.
I'd say 15, 20.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't photographs. She painted them.
She hand painted them.
She's very, very good at painting faces.
So they had to be sitting right in front of her.
Yeah.
They had to be. So why don't you think these 15 or 16 SS ever came back for their paintings, their portraits?
Well, they probably got killed or got shipped out.
Shipped out. Yeah, see, the SS have great big egos. They're a bunch of narcissistic pigs, and they love the fact of having the
actual photograph painted. Yeah.
They love it. They absolutely love it. All the damage they did.
So she made photographs. She painted pictures of them, and then they probably sent them home.
And now, what about the portraits? What about the painting she did of the tanks. How many of those tanks were there?
Of what?
You said Renee painted tanks, German tanks.
German tanks?
Yeah. Mark 4s and 5s.
Well, the German officer probably told her they painted it one day, he should take it back to his office.
Okay. And those were still there, so those SS probably got shot or transferred out.
Yeah.
And so to finish up with Renee, so we know what happened to Ann out of Owensboro, Kentucky. We can't find Jean from Haverford West, but I assure you we will. And we know what happened to Renee, and Renee, when she was in a French resistance, she didn't have a very good ending. Tell us how all that went down, the backstory of going back into the monastery.
Well, she had the German soldiers, mostly German officers, no GIs coming there. It was all, the Germans wouldn't let anybody below their rank come in here. And you do a picture of eight. You had to be a colonel or higher to get your picture
Higher
taken.
than a colonel.
Yeah. There's no GI Germans that are getting their pictures taken.
So what did Mother Superior do to Renee when Renee went back to the monastery?
She says you got to be cleansed.
You have to be cleansed.
She says you've done some wicked stuff, so we're going to put you back in what we do to the newly ones in our sector. She called it something else besides the sector in our commune, that they have to go back and get baptized back and live differently.
So Mother Superior gave her orders. Where did Mother Superior send her?
She says you're going to go back to Vietnam and be a missionary there for a year.
And did Mother Superior send her out of the country, so she said in her words, to be cleansed, because she knew that Renee was in the French resistance, correct?
Yeah.
And then what happened when Renee left the country?
Well, the Mother Superior sent her to Vietnam for a missionary.
And what happened to Renee there?
Oh, they found that some German intelligence found out that she was an informer, and they killed her.
So we know what happened to Renee, an unfortunate end. An unfortunate end. Okay, I'll continue reading page 359, and you're with Renee, and you're looking over her paintings, and you're having tripe soup with her and French rolls. Oh, by the way, this is docu-series 296, docu-series 296.
What was this?
This is docu-series of our readings, 296 that we've done.
296 what?
Of our different readings, docu-series of different segments that we read over the last year and a half.
Oh.
So, you know, I was enjoying myself, and I felt comfortable being here with her. She poured us another glass of wine, and I could feel the water penetrating my bloodstream and raising my blood pressure as I gazed at her while she spoke. She would.
She what?
She poured us another glass of wine, and I could feel its warmth penetrating my bloodstream and raising my blood pressure as I gazed at her while she spoke.
Oh.
She would gesture with her loving hands to reinforce what she was saying. Her sumptuous and sultry lips would mouth her words into a rapture, and it make all my powers of concentration to focus on her words, rather than much more pleasurable gestures she would make.
Now, do you think Renee that those girls fraternized with the Germans when they were occupied? I think so. Yeah. See, they were fraternized with the German officers.
I don't know, but I would hope not.
Yeah. Well.
I'd hope not.
They probably had to live. They had to live. They would get silk stockings, they would get clothing, they would get stuff that they would never get before.
True, but I just don't want to think
It's
about it.
real tempting.
It's probably true, but I don't want to think about it. I helped her clean up after dinner, and it was an experience to use well water and hand pumping and entailed to get the chore completed. I enjoyed it greatly, especially when it would swish by me and our bodies would touch momentarily. Our eyes would meet and she would give out a little captivating smile, and then she would go by me. We went into the parlor and Renee turned on a small radio. Did you normally listen to the BBC?
That's all, yeah.
That's all.
Well, they had French radio too. French-speaking radio.
Did you like French music?
Well, they were copying most of our stuff. Glen Miller, they were copying all of Glen Miller stuff.
That's true. Were the French people nice to you?
French people were nice to me, yeah. I was a liberator.
So they were nice to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were nice to the Germans too when they were occupying them too.
I would dance with her, and I tried to get out of it, but she insisted. I walked over to her and encircled her waist with my arms. I felt awkward at first, but she steadily reassured me, and I improved rapidly. As I heard her, I could feel her firm breast on my chest, and she was almost as tall as I. I pressed my cheek against hers. Her skin was soft and perfume she had enraptured me. I released my cheek from hers, turned my head a little, and kissed her on the cheek. She looked at me and smiled and placed her cheek against mine, and I pulled me closer. We danced for a while and emotions were effortless as she guided me around the room. We stopped in the middle of the room as the music from the radio continued playing. I pressed her close to me and began kissing her. She murmured something
17.
I could not understand and kissed me, putting her arms about and drawing me closely. As we held each other, swaying to the music, and I kissed her, I felt myself becoming blank, 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 as we tightly pressed to one another.
Now what?
Well, just put it this way, you were dancing, you were having a good time. That's all the hell I'm going to say about those paragraphs. I ain't going to no more detail there. Let's see the next paragraph, maybe it's a little bit more GP rated. She reached up and touched my hand, which was on her shoulder, and said softly, "We must be careful," in almost perfect English. I was elated. I knelt before her and repeat what we had just said. As she repeated, she realized that she'd spoken in English rather than in French, and we both laughed. By now if I could only speak as well in French, suddenly I realized the time. In 45 minutes, I would be AWOL. So you got lost in the time. You got the enjoyment of being with a beautiful female, having a nice dinner.
You gotta make the roll call.
And so in 45
You gotta make the roll call.
45 minutes, you're AWOL.
Yeah.
You'd be in big ass trouble. I asked Renee the address here, and she responded, 5 Rue St. Andres. So don't forget that one. 5 Rue St. Andres. She said she would walk me a bit to familiarize me with the street and what direction I should take from the park to reach her house. It was rather easy, and I said I would not have any difficulty finding her house. Was your house like in a commercial district?
No, the residential.
There was no cafes around it?
No, there was neighborhood restaurants, yeah, but there was no industry around there, no.
So it's primarily residential.
It was a regular country-style village.
Was the mode of transportation primarily bicycle?
Bicycles and
Was there a lot of cars?
buses.
Was there a lot of cars?
Old-fashioned buses.
How about a lot of cars?
No one had cars. They're all bicycles.
I'd love to see those old-fashioned buses, boy. I'd love to have one. I would love to have one. We stopped before the entrance of the park. I took her hand and said, I had a wonderful time today. She reached over and kissed me. Tomorrow may I see you, I murmured. She smiled and said yes, but no tripe soup.
No what?
She said yes, she wants to see you tomorrow, but no tripe soup.
Yeah.
You're doing very well with English, I stated, taking hold of her hand. Just a break. Tommy from New York saying something, so I want to send him a picture of you. Wave to Tommy.
Kimasabi.
Stand by, I'm going to send it to him. In the studio now. Paul says hi.
The what?
Paul says hi. So this is your grandson. Tommy from New York says, I can't wait to check out the new video. You're a great man too, Uncle Dave. Have a good night and talk to you soon. And I sent your picture over to him. He loves listening to your video, your grandson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy.
Who?
Tom from New York.
Oh.
He's a great kid. He's got a nice wife, two beautiful babies.
Work at a night tech.
Hard, tough. He's a hard worker. He takes right after you. In fact, he said something the last time I talked to him the other day. He says he's doing the grass, doing the best job as he could, which is a good job. He said, I seen a little section of the grass that wasn't done just right. And he was so tired, but he said to himself, Paul wouldn't leave it like this, so I'm not either. So you instilled in Tom, your grandson, a great work ethic.
Yeah.
He's a lot like you, and he's a great...
Yeah, he was a good kid, yeah.
He's a great, honest family man.
Yeah.
Honest family man. He's a real deal, that guy. Let's see. See?
He's not
at
like
work
Tom.
right now.
He was not like our Tom. Remember Tom said on the sword.
Yeah, he's working right now. Let's see. Man, look at all that stuff. When I like the movies to you, I would call if I could, but I'm at the floor tonight. Please tell Paul I love him, and we'll talk to him soon. See? Tom from New York says, I love you, and I'm calling him soon. Take care, all. Take care. I will continue recording.
Yeah.
Okay. How about if you label this one, Chapter 13? Are you listening?
Yeah.
And you can put some type of note for grandson Tom in New York, will be on the title of it so he knows which one to watch.
All right.
So it'll be easy one for him to pick up. Because like I said, we have hundreds of them out there, and he might not find it.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for me to continue?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Okay. Did you want to read some?
No, I don't want to read anything. No.
Tomorrow may I see you, I murmured. She smiled and said yes, but no tripe soup. Yes, you're doing well, very well with the English, I stated, taking hold of...
While this was going on, I had no thoughts of bringing anybody home. I had
Say
no
that
thoughts.
again?
I wouldn't bring that woman home. I had no thoughts at all.
Why?
Huh?
You wouldn't have a thought of bringing Renee home?
Huh?
You didn't have a thought of bringing Renee home?
No. Right.
Renee's a nice person. Your mother would...
Well, I smooched with her. I never had sex with her. No.
Yeah, I know, but that's...
The guy says if you go in, Royal Rubber.
Oh my God, this is a family show here. Damn, this is a family show. Now we're talking about bringing home a
Family
former...
show. Family
This is
show.
a family show,
If you
man.
go in Royal Rubber.
G-rated, boy, you're gonna get me thrown off the set. You're gonna get me damn thrown off the set.
That's
I didn't want to bring anything home.
I thought the question was, Renee, a former nun, your mother would have loved her because your mother was a devout Catholic. Would not your mother have loved Renee?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah,
leave it
well.
at that. And let's not have any more embellishments. Let's just leave it at that. Good family show. Leave it at that.
See, I never thought of bringing anybody home.
Well, it worked out for the
Now, a
best.
lot of these GIs brought stuff home and they had families for the rest of their lives.
Well, you did the right thing. You took your time, and you found the best lady in the world, Delphine Stulak Jeckovich, and you were married for almost 70 years. So,
69 years.
well, call it 70. It was right on the border.
70, okay.
I believe whatever you say, but you won the lottery when you met Delphine. She was like the best wife a man could ever wish for.
I was lucky with her.
You won the
Yeah.
lottery. You won the lottery.
That was Rosalie, Agnes, and Delphine.
Well, let's talk for a minute on how you met her. That's interesting. How'd you meet Delphine?
How did I meet him?
I want to hear the whole
At a
story.
church dance.
In what city?
I was driving around Buffalo. I went to a Japanese show, movie. You know,
What do you mean a Japanese show? What's that about?
Japanese movie
What was that about?
in Buffalo.
Was that about the war?
Yeah,
Well, it was about the World War II in the Pacific?
yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And
Wow.
I was driving around. I seen the music, and I stopped.
Yeah.
And it was at the dance hall. You go second floor, and it was a large dance hall. I had a 25-piece band playing up there.
Was that in Delwood?
Yeah. And
25
no, that wasn't Delwood. No, this was different.
And how did you see Delphine?
There was Agnes, Delphine, and Rosalie.
Those are the ladies that Delphine worked with.
Yeah, they were all worked the grants. Yeah, and they were inseparable.
They wherever where one went,
So
all
when
went
I went
together.
to dancing, I danced with Rosalie, I danced with Agnes, and I danced with Delphine.
And how did that go?
Well, then I started zeroing in on Delphine. But I had to take all three of them home.
What? Oh, you had to drive them home.
They were all in three different spots of Buffalo.
Was it snowing?
It was winter time, but there was no ice. Luckily, the roads are good.
It wasn't snowing then, right?
No.
And then where did Delphine sit?
Rosalie, Agnes, and Delphine, yeah.
Where did Delphine sit when you're driving him home?
When we were low, she sat next to me in the front seat.
And the other two ladies sat in the back?
Yeah.
Were the other ladies nice people?
Agnes and Rosalie, yeah.
They're nice girls.
Well, Rosalie was sick. Remember, she had that kid. The kid had the crutches out of his legs and everything.
Yeah.
And he passed away, 7 years old. She had bad health.
What a shame.
She should have never had kids.
Once you were married, fast forwarding a bit, did Rosalie and Agnes come to your house visiting
Yeah, they came to the house.
on
Yeah.
a regular basis?
And then they saw, and I told my brother, I said, when Rosalie and Agnes come, take Johnny downstairs with you.
Why?
Because she didn't want to compare him with her Tommy.
Okay.
Tommy didn't do as much as JK.
Okay.
JK would do.
So did Rosalie and Agnes come for many years visiting?
Well, I would say 2 years, then it petered out.
And they never heard from him again?
Well, I don't know what happened to Agnes and Rosalie. I think Rosalie passed away early because she was in ill health. Agnes was, she was an old maid. She probably died as an old maid.
Did your wife Delphine call Agnes a lot on the phone?
No.
No. Huh.
Well, she was friendly with him. we welcomed them coming over that, but,
So what, okay, so now you meet Delphine and she's with two of her girlfriends.
huh?
You initially meet Delphine and she's with two of her girlfriends.
Yeah.
And then you drive all three of them home. Did you take Delphine home last?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Smart move, smart move. I like that. I like that, I like that. So then how did it escalate into a strong romance? How did it escalate?
What's that?
How did you escalate dating Delphine and not having the attachments always of her two friends?
Not having what?
You know, Delphine was always with her friends, Agnes and
Yeah.
Rosalie. How'd you find out dating Delphine alone when you didn't have to have her two friends with her? How did that translate?
Well, we went with them for a while, I would say a good 4 or 5 months. And then we had a mutual agreement. He said, look, we love Delphine, we love Agnes and Rosalie and that, but we want some privacy for ourselves.
Okay, okay.
And I was trying to bring it back, I've been bringing it back and forth, take them for coffee and donuts.
Okay. And did, when you were with Delphine, Agnes, and Rosalie, did Agnes and Rosalie bring their boyfriends too?
And they brought him, he was a nice kid, but he was car crazy, but he didn't know anything mechanical about cars. It was all
Was that Ed?
yeah, he knew the compression, he knew the ratio, and he knew this and that.
So he read a lot of car magazines.
Yeah, but he didn't know, he didn't, what the heck, how did he do? I think he was a cook in a restaurant or something.
So he wasn't a mechanic.
No.
And so when's the last time you seen Ed?
See him?
Yeah. How did you?
Oh, I think that tapered off after 6 months.
Did Ed end up marrying Agnes?
No. Agnes? No.
Rosalie.
Agnes stayed at old lady.
How
Old
about
maid,
Rosalie?
yeah.
Did you know any other old maids that were on Orleans Avenue?
On Orleans Avenue?
Could you think of an old maid on Orleans Avenue?
What's her name?
Linda?
That one that had the dogs.
Linda Kozlowski?
No, that.
Butchie's sister?
Huh?
Butchie's sister?
No, it wasn't her sister.
Oh, Casamino.
She Jacomento, yeah. She had.
Pampered Poodle.
Huh?
Pampered Poodle.
She had the dogs, yeah.
Did you get along well with her?
I didn't go out with her or nothing else, no.
Or did you get along
Well,
with her?
she went out with every guy in Buffalo,
You're kidding.
you know.
And then, did your mother get along with her?
My mother wasn't that close with those neighbors.
But I thought you said there was dog hair blowing out of
Huh?
a fan. I thought you told me there was dog hair blowing from a fan that you told your mother to.
I told her to close the window, Bob. She's got the fan on in the cellar to keep the cellar cool down, and you got the window open, you smell that damn dog coming into the house. Smell.
Plus you have a very sensitive nose.
Oh.
You do, so you picked it up real quickly, right?
No, you get near those, when Clint comes over with his dog, the dog is great. But when he comes near to me, he gets a stench, but I can smell it right away.
Uh-huh. So I think.
And he's out there touching the pet, touching
I think
his
that gets
hand
back
and
to the
all
old
that
story.
stuff.
When you have a pet, you get kind of used to it, and when you don't have a
Yeah.
pet, you pick up on it right
I
away.
got that woman at the counter at lunch now. She talked about her cat. Cat this, cat this, cat this.
Did you ever have a pet?
We had a cat, Blackie, for a while, and then he got sick, and I took him out in the field across the street from us. It was all empty, and I dug a hole, I buried him in there.
Did you bury him alive?
He was dead. He was
Well, you said he was getting
Come
sick.
on.
I want the details,
David.
man. I got to get the details.
Huh?
I have to have the details. So he's dead. You buried him across the street. How old were you then?
I was probably in high school.
High school. Did you have any dogs?
Did we ever? No.
Did you want to get a dog now for companion?
My father never had a dog. My father never had a rifle. My father never had went hunting or nothing. No.
Did you want to get a dog now?
Huh?
would you like a companion dog now?
A dog? No, I don't want no damn dog, no.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
we'll pick it
I
up
don't-
tomorrow.
I said, that woman